because now we've kind of like shoved it under the carpet,
Mm.
kind of thing,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah.
And whereas perhaps more thoughts and feelings about how we think it'll play out, what we think it might lead to,
Yeah.
how we feel we should respond to it. I mean, those are stories that haven't been allowed to play out.
No, that's right. Yeah,
You know?
because today we have this news cycle though as well, correct? Where
Yeah.
after 2 or 3 days, I've been fascinated by the Jeffrey Epstein story. I don't know. If you know,
Yes.
That like just incredible for anyone who knows. Jeffrey Epstein was sort of brought into this pedophilia saga with like wide-ranging, wide-featuring sort of angles towards it, and the people involved. The latest of which is the Prince Andrew interview and that debacle, but. The whole story about him and his death, it was like it was shaping up to be the biggest story in history. Correct. Yeah. This man was jailed, going to be charged for basically facilitating a pedophilia ring with some of the most major players in the world involved. And then it just got put onto the carpet. And then 3 or 4 weeks later, he commits suicide. Apparently. Gets suicided. And then that gets put onto the carpet, and we all go, like, instead of having like a discussion, I go, what is going on here? We have this news cycle now that these issues come up, mass shootings in America, for example. 3 or 4 days later, we're on to the next thing, and nothing feels like it's ever getting discussed or resolved.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I don't know whether you saw the speech by Sacha Baron Cohen.
I did,
you know. And I mean, like, it's quite interesting.
Social media does play a big part in that too, right?
Yeah. It's very interesting how, and some commentators pointed it out. I mean, like, he was exploiting certain stereotypes and gaining from the kind of social media, social media propulsion that took place. You know, and definitely. It was to his benefit, and he gained from it. And now he comments on whether or not there should be a platform, and if there was a platform when he did this thing, would his stuff have seen the light of day, and would he have been as successful?
Sure.
You know. So, but this also is very interesting because what he was doing was parody and satire.
Right.
Which is a bit different.
It is different. Yeah.
You know, which it is very different, and we need to know, and we need to be more resilient to that kind of play.
But we're losing that resilience. So I mean,
Correct.
And that's a fundamental issue. That like for our whole human history, the importance of the comedian or the importance of the joker to be able to explain and put a satire to the event, to make fun of the king. You know. We're losing that. We're losing the ability to. We're just taking ourselves too seriously, and it's to the detriment of us.
Well, I'm not sure whether it's we are losing it, or certain people have figured out how to take advantage of it in order to guide how society feels.
Sure, that's a good point.
You know, because like for instance, like I mean, on the one hand, you know, you can parody Trump. On the other hand, you can also parody Bernie Sanders.
Sure. Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So therein lies an even greater requirement for us to have honed our critical thinking skills.
Yeah.
So that we can really filter.
Yeah.
And so what are we doing with our young to stop them enjoying and learning from art making is actually, you know, really reducing their critical thinking skills.
It is. That's right.
And that's why I am very upset with what's going on with the ScoMo government's latest... Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, we're creating children that are becoming much more rigid.
Yeah.
I feel like through those sort of factors,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at things like, I watched the recent Dave Chappelle, you know, the stand-up comedian Dave Chappelle. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen it, but he's sort of... his last stand-up special, I think it came out maybe 3 months ago. But, you know, he has an amazing commentary of social dynamics, social factors, and he was basically this whole special sort of around the difficulties he faces now, even talking about these subjects and making fun of them. I mean, he's been doing this for 20 years, you know, and it seems like in 2019 it's become harder than ever to but he really sort of made a point to discuss it this time around and give some voice to it. It was an interesting. It was very different to his other stand-up specials. It was sort of along the same lines, talking around these different social dynamics that we have in play, both in regards to racial identity and political identity, but played out now under this guise that he understands that anything he says now, there's going to be a group of people that take off with it and lambast him for it. Whereas that people used to understand that before. You think that they used to understand that it was just satire. It was just his way of being able to communicate his thoughts about the world in a funny manner. And you know, that's sort of at risk, he feels, at the moment. Yeah.
And I mean, like, if he's facing a backlash, it might be a concerted effort. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To create public dismissal of what he's trying to say.
Sure.
You know, I mean, I worked in marketing communications and, you know, PR and stuff and advertising.
Yeah.
And so I kind of understand some of the communication tricks.
Right.
The framing and the must-have points and how if you say it often enough, people start to believe you.
Yeah, right, sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, that whole idea that just keep plugging at it. And after a while, you know, it'll have an effect.
Yeah.
And I see that so often in Malaysian politics.
Right, okay.
In this hammering on the same points, boom, boom, boom. After a while, it has an effect.
Yeah, there's that phrase, if you tell a lie often enough, it'll become the truth.
Yeah.